This is Fight Night Champion. We're on Xbox Series X. So yeah, the game is kind of retaining its original style of play. What we're getting here is a 720p at 30 FPS, but we do get the magic of auto HDR, which looks quite nice as you're battling it out. And yeah, we do get a bit of a boosted effect here too. It's pretty actually smooth considering the resolution. A little bit of jagged edges when you look at the, kind of the outlines of the boxers, but yeah, for the most part it actually does look quite wonderful and quite boosted up. So yeah, this is the iconic last entry in the Fight Night series, which was known for its boxing thrills, the way it elevated the fighter genre to a degree back in the day. And yeah, I think the last time we're really going to see a boxing game, at least for the near future, because everyone's so engaged on UFC at the current time, which is just how things kind of go. Jeez, did he just knock me out there? Unbelievable. Mike Tyson, no. But yeah, I think auto HDR is kind of the big standout here. And it actually is quite a well done experience. I know a lot of people fondly look at this one. It provided a lot of different ways to kind of fight and combat with one another. It had some neat moments and definitely was just a really, well-rounded game that a lot of people enjoyed. And I always really liked the boxing games back in the day. Well, I didn't really play a whole lot of them, but I liked them for the fact that they were always very much something that kind of pushed the visual fidelity of experiences a lot. That was a big thing, is the sports games in general used to be a big indicator of like next-gen visuals, and I think they still kind of are to a degree now, depending on what you get. But yeah, it's really interesting to go back and play this one. So obviously you get like the champion sort of mode. Things kind of start out in the whole jail battle, and then there's like just the fight now, and then you've got the different like components for competitive play if you'd like to do it that way. And I'm playing locally too. Ugh, I'm not looking too good, man. Yeah, let's just skip that. I don't want to do it. But yeah, I think they've got like fairly, considering the age of the game, like the crowds actually look pretty dynamic in terms of like how many people are out there, and yeah, it's actually kind of impressive. And you gotta watch your stamina, and you gotta fight. And I mean, it's boxing, right? And I'm probably not the greatest at it because I'm just kind of going in here making my swings. But it's actually got some really cool dynamic elements for combat. I mean, you got the sort of movement hit stick that you can use, which is kind of cool. And then you've got the traditional button layouts as well that you can unleash on people if you want, which is kind of neat. And then, you've got a pretty good roster, like boxers, I guess you could say, too. Well, obviously not like the YouTube craze we get today, am I right? I'm just joking. Where people from YouTube box for some reason, which I think is just silly. But that aside, wow, those guys are really getting into it in the background of the crowd, but that adds like a nice depth layering to what's going on there. Anyways, it's just kind of, it emulates the sporting event, I think, quite well. It gets a set of arenas. It still looks really good considering its age. And yeah, it's just kind of like, I guess, the definitive last boxing experience out there that you can jump into at this current point in time. And I think that's kind of interesting too. It feels really intense with the kind of the way the cameras are done on this one. It is weird though that it's a little bit slower, because I guess there was a big debate back in the day about the fluidity of the game in comparison to the entries that came before it. So I think that's kind of neat to think about all these years later. But I'm sure more people are just happy to actually have a fight night available. How many like shots to the head are you gonna take? Oh, he is Ali, am I right? So anyways, you gotta use your stamina and watch all that, even though I'm not, because I don't really care that much. I'm just kind of getting into a battle. I'm actually kind of hoping this one maybe ends a little bit quicker so that we could show, another boxing match or something like that. But yeah, it's just kind of a neat, well-presented game. I think, visually they get the aesthetics, the environment quite right. And I'd really like to actually see what a modern, take on the genre would be. I'm just not sure we're going to see it really at the current point in time, just due to the popularity of the sport having waned considerably. Oh, Tyson's down again. But yeah, this was always the big thing for next gen visuals, was like the sweat and the hits. You were like, whoa, look at this, it was crazy. How are they able to handle such pressure? This is so dynamic. I don't think we're getting back up. We're not done yet. We can still see. He's knocked us down twice, but you know, we're just gonna come back. We're gonna block. We're gonna have the heart. We're gonna have the Mike Tyson Mysteries team here helping us out in the back, even though they've been canceled. Whoa, jeez. Health is not looking good, that's for sure. Mike Tyson's out. It's over. He can't take on Ali. He's too tough. He's too tough for Mike Tyson. Oh, if only the team was here. The mystery team. I still believe, Mike Tyson. I still believe. But yeah, you know, they had a lot of like interesting techniques and ways to play and options. Great, so we can switch our characters now. That's fantastic. We're gonna pop over to a new setup of boxers going at it. That's alright. It's alright, Tyson. Get him next time. And no. He's a lot older now. We set up another match. We got some featherweights. I have no idea who these people are. But yeah, you know, the game's also got like a legacy mode. It's got like a training mode if you need that. It's got lots of, I guess, like clip type integration, because I suppose that was a big thing back in the day. But yeah, it's just kind of a really interesting sort of game of its time. I guess you could say it's kind of fascinating to see it all these years later and jump into it and kind of showcase it, because I know a lot of people still really do actually enjoy this game, right? You know, it's kind of a big sort of thing. Definitely had a lot of fun and action involved in it, and different ways to play, and yeah, some intense gripping action. I mean, obviously they've moved on genre-wise when it comes to fighting games, but yeah, I think the Fight Night series is kind of eternal, if that makes sense, just in terms of it being such a iconic sporting game franchise that's out there. It's definitely, you know, had a bit of a legacy for it. Ooh. Let me get some body shots in there. Oh, body shots! Like those body shots, huh? You like that? I don't know, it's just kind of fun to play. I know there's a lot of people that are a little bit more intense about it, and obviously have more focus and, you know, more strategy and using their stamina system to be more effective in that. You know, it's totally up to how you want to jump in there and jump into this one and see what it's got to offer. I don't know, it's kind of neat. It seems to run pretty well on this platform, you know, in terms of the performance and the visuals and stuff. And then the gleam of the HDR obviously adds a little bit of a extra edge to it. At least I think so, you know, just for kind of making it look a little bit better. He's hugging me. He's hugging me. But yeah, boxing's just kind of neat, because like in UFC, the ground game is kind of what bothers me a little bit. So, and it's neat just to be able to duke it out, just like we used to back in the day. Fight night it out, and hugging it out too. We bros. I don't know, good roster of fighters, good selection of tracks and stuff, which is amazing. They were actually able to get the licensing and everything like that to actually make this happen. And then, you know, you got the arenas too, which is actually kind of surprising licensing-wise that was possible, because I assume that's also part of it. And then, you know, not only the tracks, the fighters, and yeah, it was amazing that they were actually able to make this game kind of happen and become available. So I hope you enjoyed this look at, you know, Fight Night Champion. You got an idea, a little bit of how the action's going, and how it looks, and the movement and everything like that, because I know this is a well-loved and discussed title online from what I've seen over the years and stuff. So it's neat to be able to show that off here and give you an idea of how it's looking and running on the platform.